Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show that's your shortcut to being well-informed. We pack it with surprising facts and, well, just enough humor to keep you hooked.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Today, we're diving into something really transformative in healthcare. The rise of online physical therapy.
Yeah, it's huge.
Forget limiting your practice to just one clinic location, right? Licensed physical therapists are now building these incredibly impactful businesses online, reaching patients pretty much everywhere.
Exactly.
So this deep dive is all about giving you the blueprint to do exactly that.
Precisely. Telehealth, it's not just some temporary fix anymore. It's really fundamentally changing physical therapy. It lets clinicians treat patients remotely through all sorts of dynamic online formats, things we couldn't do before. So this deep dive, it's going to be a comprehensive guide. We'll share what it truly takes to navigate this digital landscape and, succeed.
Okay, so our mission today is clear. We're going to map out the different ways you can deliver online PT, the models. We'll tackle the legal stuff, the licensing requirements, which, let's be honest, can feel like a maze.
Oh, definitely.
We'll explore the tech you absolutely need for your virtual clinic, share best practices for delivering, really top-notch care virtually.
Yeah, the quality aspect is key.
And outline marketing strategies that actually work online. So by the end, you, the listener, should have a step-by-step roadmap, whether you're a licensed PT looking to expand or maybe even launch an online practice from scratch.
Yep. Get ready for some practical, actionable insights.
Okay, so let's unpack this. When I first hear online PT, my mind just goes straight to, a simple video call.
Right, the standard Zoom call image.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But our sources suggest the landscape is way more diverse, more innovative than that. What are some of those other ways? Maybe some less obvious ways PTs are using virtual care.
That's a great point because it really does go way beyond just a basic video chat. So first, the most common one you mentioned is live video. That's synchronous.
Okay.
Real-time two-way video, like a virtual face-to-face. Platforms like Zoom for Healthcare, Doxy.me.
Right.
The key insight here, especially for experienced PTs, is getting really good at picking up visual cues since you can't use manual palpation.
Ah, okay.
You learn to guide patients to self-assess movements, you focus on subtle body language shifts, maybe even get creative using household objects for resistance during exercises. It's ideal for those initial evaluations, supervising exercises in real time, giving immediate feedback.
Yeah.
It mimics the in-person visit pretty closely.
Makes sense.
Then you've got store and forward, that's asynchronous.
Asynchronous, so not live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about exchanging recorded information for review later. So a patient might upload a video of themselves doing an exercise.
Oh, interesting.
Or fill out detailed online forms. And then you, the PT, review that data and respond when you can. It's super useful for initial intake paperwork, sending progress updates, or even delivering pre-recorded exercise plans, maybe as part of a subscription. Could even create passive revenue streams.
I hadn't thought of that aspect. Okay.
Then there's remote patient monitoring, or RPM.
RPM.
Now, this isn't just about collecting data. It's about using continuous or periodic monitoring through connected devices.
Like wearables, Fitbits and things.
Exactly. Wearable sensors, health apps, they track metrics like steps, range of motion, pain levels. You monitor this remotely. But the real potential here, maybe the untapped insight, is using this data to create sort of a gamified experience.
Gamified, like points for exercises?
Kind of. To intrinsically motivate patients, turn passive tracking into active engagement, maybe even friendly competition for hitting recovery milestones. It's great for tracking long-term progress, and it can flag concerning changes between your live sessions.
Wow, okay. That's more involved.
Yeah. And then there's mobile health, mHealth. This is about delivering PT services through mobile apps and messaging.
So like an app on your phone.
Pretty much. Apps that send exercise reminders, deliver educational content, let patients report symptoms easily. Think of those integrated home exercise program software platforms like MedBridge or WebPT's apps. They engage patients with videos, push notifications, right on their phone.
Gotcha. Convenient.
Very. And finally, hybrid models. This is becoming really popular.
A hybrid, so a mix.
Exactly. Blending telehealth and in-person care. Patients get a mix of virtual sessions and maybe some clinic visits when needed. Research actually shows these hybrid models can significantly boost patient adherence, cut down on no-shows,
Oh, interesting.
and achieve outcomes that are often comparable to purely traditional care. That flexibility often gives the best of both worlds, tailoring care to what works best at each stage of recovery.
That diversity is really impressive. It sounds like a successful online practice might, strategically mix and match several of these models depending on the patient.
That's often the ideal approach.
But is there a risk, maybe, especially when you're starting out, of offering too many options? Could that overwhelm the PT or confuse the patient? How do you figure out the right mix?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
You definitely want to start focused, maybe master one or two models first, like live video plus a good HEP platform,
Yeah.
before adding RPM or more complex asynchronous elements. It depends on your niche, your target patients, and frankly, your comfort level with the tech. You scale complexity as you grow.
Okay, that makes sense. Start manageable. So we've mapped out the different ways to connect virtually.
Yeah.
But now, the really crucial part, the non-negotiable foundation, navigating the legal and regulatory side.
Absolutely critical.
Because all that cool tech and flexibility doesn't mean a thing if you're not compliant, right? This is where it gets, well, really important.
You're exactly right. And the number one rule, the absolute cornerstone here, is licensure.
Okay.
A physical therapist must be licensed in the jurisdiction, the state, the province, whatever it is where the patient is physically located during the session.
Right. Not just where the PT, am sitting.
Correct. It's all about the patient's location at the time of service. Your license or privilege has to cover that specific place.
Okay. That seems like it could get complicated fast if you want to treat people in different states.
It can. But to help streamline this, there's the PT-Compact.
The PT compact.
Yeah, it's an agreement among a growing number of states, over 30 plus DC, as of mid-2025. It allows eligible PTs to get compact privileges more easily to practice across state lines within the compact member states.
Oh, so that simplifies things significantly.
It really does facilitate interstate telehealth. One PT can potentially serve patients in multiple compact states without needing a full separate license in each one.
Good to know. What about like the actual practice of PT? Does it change online?
That's a key point. When it comes to scope of practice and standard of care, telehealth is just a mode of delivery.
Yeah.
It's not a separate scope of practice. The same professional standards, the same obligations apply as if you were seeing the patient in person. And this includes a clear duty to refer patients for in-person care if you feel their condition can't be adequately assessed or treated remotely. Patient safety always comes first.
Makes sense. You have to know the limits.
Precisely. You also need informed consent and telehealth policies. It's mandated. You have to get the patient's specific informed consent for telehealth before you start.
Specific to telehealth.
Yes, detailing its limitations, what happens if tech fails, that sort of thing. And it needs to be documented thoroughly, usually with a specific telehealth consent form they sign electronically or you note verbally.
Okay. And privacy. That seems huge online.
Non-negotiable.
Sure.
Privacy, security, and HIPAA compliance are paramount.
IP, right.
You absolutely must use HIPAA-compliant technology platforms. These are vendors who will provide a business associate agreement, a BAA.
BAA.
It's a legal contract ensuring they handle patient data securely according to HIPAA rules. And secure data storage for your records is critical.
Okay. What else? Insurance? Malpractice.
Yes. Always confirm that your malpractice and insurance policy explicitly covers telehealth practice.
Explicitly covers it.
Yes, especially across state lines. This is a common oversight that can leave you exposed. And for billing and reimbursement, check the specific payer policies. In the U.S., the 95 modifier is often used for synchronous telehealth billing codes.
Modifier 95. Got it.
And, importantly, those Medicare telehealth coverage waivers for PTs, they've been extended through at least September 30, 2025. Plus, many states have parity laws now, requiring private insurers to reimburse telehealth PT at the same rate as in-person.
That's huge for making it financially viable.
Absolutely. Lastly, remember cross-border practice and jurisdiction. Telehealth services are generally considered rendered where the patient is located,
Okay.
which means you fall under the jurisdiction of that location's laws and potential legal liability, not where you are.
Wow. That is a lot to keep track of. It really sounds like this legal landscape is constantly shifting, too.
It is. It's evolving.
So what's maybe the biggest mistake or misconception you see PTs making when they first dip their toes into telehealth compliance? And what's like one proactive thing they could do today to get ahead of the curve?
I think the biggest misconception is assuming their existing malpractice covers telehealth everywhere, or not fully grasping the state-by-state licensure requirement for the patient's location.
Right, just assuming it's okay.
Yeah. And a proactive step today, check your state's PT board website for their specific telehealth regulations and see if your state is part of the PT Compact. That's foundational information you need before you do anything else. And call your malpractice provider. Ask direct questions.
Okay, solid advice. Do your homework up front. So you've navigated the legal maze, you understand the different models. Now let's talk practical stuff. The technology, the tools you actually need to run an online PT practice effectively.
The virtual toolkit.
Yeah. What do you need in your virtual clinic to make sure it's smooth, professional, and, inspires confidence in the patient?
Okay, the absolute cornerstone for live sessions is a secure video conferencing platform.
Secure being the key word.
Absolutely. It must be HIPAA compliant. Consumer apps like regular Zoom or FaceTime are generally not okay for healthcare.
Right.
You need platforms designed for this, like Zoom for Healthcare, Doxy.me, Thera platform. They offer features like screen sharing, stable audio, video, and crucially, they'll sign that business associate agreement, the BAA we talked about.
Got it. HIPAA compliant platform first. What else?
You'll need robust practice management and electronic documentation systems.
Okay, for scheduling, notes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Scheduling, patient charting, billing. Now, big practices might use something comprehensive like WebPT or Clinician. But if you're a solo practitioner starting out, something like Simple Practice might be more streamlined. It often combines scheduling, notes, billing, even telehealth video, all in one.
Oh, interesting. All in one could be simpler.
Potentially. The key, regardless of size, is secure EMR, electronic medical record, or secure data storage for those patient charts. Even solo, you need that security.
Right. And what about exercises? Sending homework?
Yeah, for home exercise program, HEP, and educational resources, digital platforms are really key.
Like MedBridge. I've heard of that.
MedBridge, Physiotech, there are several good ones. They let you create and monitor tailored exercise programs with videos, clear instructions, even adherence tracking. It empowers your patients between visits and, honestly, saves you time.
Okay, makes sense. What about my setup, my office?
Good question. For hardware and office setup on your end, the PT side, a high-quality webcam is essential. Don't rely on the basic laptop camera if you can help it.
Better camera. Got it.
A good microphone, too, not just the built-in one. And stable, high-speed internet. A wired connection is almost always more reliable than Wi-Fi for video calls.
Wired connection. Okay.
And your physical space matters. A quiet, well-lit room, neutral background. Enough space for you to stand up and demonstrate exercises clearly. And importantly, guide your patients on their setup too. Good lighting, camera angle, space to move. It makes a huge difference in the quality of the session.
Right, helping the patient optimize their end. What about those monitoring devices you mentioned earlier, the RPM stuff?
Yeah, remote monitoring devices, they're optional, but they can be incredibly powerful.
Wearables, apps?
Exactly. Wearable sensors, smartphone apps, tracking movement, posture, biometrics. If you connect this to the bigger picture, collecting this objective data gives you a much more comprehensive view of how the patient is doing between sessions.
I see. More than just what they tell you.
Right. It enables really personalized treatment adjustments and lets you intervene sooner if needed. It's like the patient is wearing a continuous diagnostic tool in a way.
Interesting. And last pieces of the toolkit.
Finally, think about communication and engagement platforms. Tools for secure messaging again, HIPAA-compliant automated appointment reminders, online booking systems, and online payment processing like Square or Stripe.
Streamlining the admin stuff.
Exactly. These keep patients engaged, reduce no-shows, and handle the admin, freeing you up for the actual therapy.
That's a really comprehensive toolkit. I heard a story about a PT whose internet just died mid-session.
Oh, no. Nightmare scenario.
Right. They had to quickly pivot to a phone call. It just highlights why doing those dry runs or mock consultations you mentioned isn't just a nice idea, it's essential, right?
Yep.
To iron out tech glitches before a real patient session.
Absolutely essential. Test everything. Your video, your audio, screen sharing, the patient's view. Having a backup plan, like knowing you can switch to phone audio, is critical. How does all this prep translate into trust for the patient?
Well, I imagine if the tech works seamlessly, if you look professional, sound clear, have a good setup, it signals competence and reliability. It builds confidence that you know what you're doing, even remotely.
Exactly. A smooth tech experience builds trust right from the start. Okay, so beyond the tech setup, how do you actually deliver quality care online?
Right. That's the core of it. It's about adapting your clinical skills, isn't it? Making the virtual experience just as effective, just as personalized as being in a traditional clinic.
Absolutely. It starts with engaging and empowering patients remotely. First off, you need a professional website manner.
Website manner. I like that.
Yeah. Treat virtual sessions with the same professionalism as in person. Focus on clear communication, make eye contact with the camera that feels like eye contact to the patient, Use active verbal cues, nodding, clear body language to show you're listening intently. And always verify the patient's identity and their physical location at the start of every session.
Okay, basic but important. What else?
Getting that informed consent and setting expectations specifically for telehealth is crucial, as we mentioned. Clearly explain how it works, what the limitations are like, I won't be able to put my hands on you to feel the joint, and have a plan for tech failures.
Manage expectations up front.
Definitely. And to optimize patient engagement, make the sessions interactive, use screen sharing to show anatomical images, exercise videos, maybe even use a digital whiteboard. Involve family or caregivers if it's appropriate and helpful. Always set clear homework and goals and review them together.
Make it collaborative.
Exactly. Your communication style needs to be super clear, maybe even a bit more energetic than in person. Use simpler, really descriptive language since you can't rely on touch. Check in frequently. How does that feel? Can you show me where you feel that? Encourage feedback, especially about discomfort.
Constant check-ins. Okay.
And leverage technology for building accountability. Automated reminders for exercises, simple digital logs they fill out, or using those wearables we talked about to track activity between sessions.
Got it. Now, the assessment part seems tricky without hands-on. How do you handle that remotely?
It requires adaptation for sure. So, for remote assessment methods and tips, start with pre-session information gathering. Use secure digital intake forms and validated outcome measures like the Oswestry for back pain or the DASH for upper extremity. Get those filled out before the session.
Get data beforehand.
Yes. Then, plan your virtual exam meticulously. Think through the flow. Which tests can you do effectively via video? What are creative alternatives for the hands-on components? Maybe patient self-palpation guided by you, or using specific functional movements as proxies for strength or range of motion testing.
Okay, plan Bs for everything.
Pretty much. You absolutely need to optimize the camera view. This means guiding the patient. Okay, can you step back so I can see your whole body? Now, can you move the camera closer to your knee? You need full visibility.
Right, you become the director.
Exactly. And you'll use modified examination techniques. Adapt standard tests so the patient can self-administer them under your observation, or modify them. Use household items for rough measurements sometimes. It shifts the classic look, feel, move approach more towards look, point, move.
Look, point, move. I like that. Makes sense.
But above all, safety first. Be conservative. Don't ask a patient to do potentially unsafe tests alone at home. Always have an emergency plan, including confirming their physical address at the start in case you need to call for help. And be very ready to say, you know what, I really need you to see someone in person for this. Refer out when needed.
Absolutely. Safety over everything. Okay, what about documentation? Does that change?
Documentation and digital record keeping follow similar principles. When charting telehealth visits, you document with the same level of detail as an in-person visit. But you must note that the service was provided via telehealth, that patient consent for telehealth was obtained, and any technical difficulties or modifications you had to make to your assessment or treatment.
And note the telehealth specifics.
Yes, and privacy and security remain paramount. Use your secure EMR encrypted platforms. Follow all HIPAA guidelines, things like two-factor authentication, secure cloud storage. Maintain that informed consent documentation, signed or noted verbally. And for visit coding and billing records, make sure your documentation clearly justifies the billing codes used, including those required modifiers like POS 02 or 10 and the 95 modifier.
Got it. Keep meticulous records. How do you track if it's actually working for the patient?
Great question. For tracking patient outcomes and ensuring quality, continue using standardized outcome measures. Administer those questionnaires online periodically to quantify progress objectively.
The same questionnaires, just online.
Exactly. And you can leverage remote therapeutic monitoring, RTM, which we touched on with RPM. This can even be a separate billable category in some cases, monitoring patient activity, adherence, and symptoms between visits using technology.
OTM.
And what's really fascinating here is that study after study is finding no significant difference in outcomes between well-managed telehealth and traditional in-person PT for many common musculoskeletal conditions.
Wow, really? So it can be just as effective?
For many conditions, yes, when done well. Finally, always gather patient feedback and satisfaction. Surveys, quick check-ins, use that feedback to continuously improve your service. Happy patients and good outcomes are, frankly, your best marketing tool.
That really underscores where the true art and skill of online PT comes in, doesn't it? It's not just about the tech. So thinking about patient engagement specifically, What are maybe one or two really effective strategies you've seen work well in virtual sessions? And conversely, what's a hidden pitfall professionals should watch out for?
A really effective strategy is maximizing interaction. Don't just talk at the patient. Use screen sharing constantly. Have them demonstrate things frequently. Ask probing questions. Make it a two-way street. Another is celebrating small wins explicitly. Look how much further you could reach today compared to last week. That positive reinforcement is huge remotely.
Okay, interaction and positive reinforcement. Pitfalls.
A hidden pitfall is becoming too reliant on just the visual, forgetting to ask enough clarifying questions about how something feels, where exactly they feel it. You lose the tactile feedback, so your verbal questioning has to become much sharper, much more detailed to compensate. Assuming you know what they're feeling just by watching can lead you astray.
Okay. Over-reliance on the visual. Makes sense. All right, so let's say you're set up, you're confident in your virtual skills. The next big hurdle, how do you actually get patients to your virtual clinic?
Why, the marketing piece.
Yeah, this needs proactive, strategic marketing, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. To start, you really need to identify your niche and value
A
proposition,
niche down, even online.
especially online. Differentiate your practice. Don't try to be everything to everyone. Focus on a specific population, maybe runners, maybe postpartum moms, maybe desk workers with neck pain, or a specific condition. Then clearly define your unique value proposition, your UVP. What makes you the go-to choice for that group online?
Okay, define your specialty and why you're different.
Exactly. Then your professional website with SEO is non-negotiable. It's your virtual storefront.
SEO, search engine optimization.
Right. Your website needs to be clean, professional, super informative, include clear service descriptions, your credentials, and crucially, use keywords that potential clients are searching for. Now, here's a key insight many PTs miss with telehealth SEO. It's not just general keywords. It's often about hyper-local SEO, even for virtual care. Patients frequently search for online physical therapist in California or telehealth PT near me, even if the service is remote. So optimizing your site and content for the specific state names and regions where you are licensed can be a game changer for getting found.
Target the states you're licensed in with SEO. Smart.
Very important. Also, a strong social media presence and content marketing strategy is vital.
Instagram, Facebook.
Yep. Instagram, Facebook, maybe even YouTube or TikTok, depending on your niche. Share valuable content. Exercise demos, tips for injury prevention, patient success stories, with permission, of course. Educational videos explaining conditions. This builds trust, establishes you as an expert, and shows people how virtual PT works.
Provide value. Build authority.
Precisely. And don't underestimate old school networking and referrals. Build relationships with doctors, chiropractors, trainers, other healthcare providers who might refer patients to you, especially those who see patients that could really benefit from the convenience or accessibility of telehealth. And absolutely encourage your happy clients to spread the word. Word of mouth is gold.
Happy clients are the best ads.
Always. Also, make sure you list your practice on online directories and telehealth platforms. Get your Google business profile set up and optimized. List yourself on healthcare directories. You might even consider, especially early on, contracting with larger established telehealth companies like maybe Hinge Health or Sword Health to gain some initial patient volume and experience.
Okay. Get listed everywhere relevant.
Right. Implement content and email marketing too. Maybe create an e-newsletter with helpful tips. Offer a free resource, sometimes called a lead magnet, like a downloadable PDF guide on setting up your ergonomic home office or 5 exercises for runner's knee.
In exchange for their email address.
Exactly. This builds your email list, lets you nurture potential clients over time, stay top of mind, and provide ongoing value that positions you as the expert they should eventually book with.
Smart. Long-term strategy.
And finally, consider offering free consultations or workshops. Lower the barrier to entry. A short, free 15-minute video or phone consultation lets potential patients meet you, ask questions, and understand how virtual PT could specifically help them before they commit to a paid session. It builds rapport and converts prospects into patients.
Makes sense. Gives them a taste of it. That's a really solid set of strategies. And it really loops back to what you said earlier. Delivering excellent results and service becomes your best marketing.
Absolutely. Quality care fuels that organic growth, especially online where reviews and testimonials are so visible and influential.
Right. Okay, let's bring this all home. Let's synthesize everything we've discussed into a clear, actionable blueprint, a step-by-step roadmap for any licensed PT who's listening and thinking, okay, I want to do this. I want to launch or expand into telehealth.
Let's lay it out. Step 1. Research regulations and get licensed in target areas. First things first. Dig into the specific telehealth rules in your home state or country and any other state or region where you plan to treat patients.
Back to those crucial legal foundations.
Exactly. Secure any necessary multi-state licenses or investigate those PT compact privileges if applicable. And critically, call your malpractice insurance provider and tell them you're adding telehealth. Get confirmation of coverage in writing if possible.
Okay, research, license, inform insurer. Step 1.
Step 2. Develop a business plan and choose your model. Don't skip this. Decide. Are you going solo or joining an existing practice? Will you be cash-based or try to get credentialed with insurance companies? Who is your ideal patient? What's your niche? What makes your service unique, your value proposition? Planning this upfront saves so many headaches down the road.
Plan the business before building it. Got it. Step 3.
Step 3. Set up your legal business entity and finances. Time to make it official. Form a legal entity like an LLC limited liability company or a PC professional corporation to protect your personal assets.
Important protection.
Crucial. Get your NPI number. That's your unique national provider identifier if you're in the U.S. Get an EIN employer identification number from the IRS for tax purposes. Open a separate business bank account. Keep finances separate from personal. Set up your system for accepting payments online. And seriously, consult with a healthcare attorney at this stage to ensure you're setting everything up correctly from a legal standpoint.
Okay, legal structure, finances, NPI, EIN, bank account, lawyer consult. Step 3 done. Step 4.
Step 4. Acquire telehealth technology and tools. Now you get the gear. Select your HIPAA-compliant video platform. Choose and set up your documentation system, your EMR. Get your HEP software. Set up a professional email address. Get the webcam, microphone. Ensure reliable internet. And remember, conduct those trial runs. Test everything thoroughly before your first real patient.
Tech setup and testing. Step 4. What's step 5?
Step 5. Develop clinical procedures and best practices. This is about standardizing your operations. Create clear workflows for patient intake, how you'll conduct virtual evaluations, follow-up procedures, plan for handling technical difficulties mid-session, adapt your assessment techniques. Remember, look, point, move. Prepare your documentation templates, including that telehealth consent form. Consistency ensures quality and efficiency.
Standardize the clinical process. Step 5. Step 6.
Step 6. Launch your marketing and online presence. Time to tell the world. Create that professional website, making sure it's optimized with those hyper-local SEO keywords for the areas you're licensed in. Set up your professional social media profiles. Start sharing valuable content. Reach out to your professional network colleagues. Doctors, let them know you're offering virtual services. Start building buzz.
Build a website. Start marketing. Step 6. Next.
Step 7. Start treating patients. Soft launch. Don't try to go from 0 to 60 overnight. Begin with just a few initial patients. This lets you test and refine your entire process in a lower-pressure environment. Gather feedback from these early adopters. Ensure everything runs smoothly, from booking to billing to the actual session, and always be ready to adapt your approach or refer a patient for in-person care if virtual isn't appropriate for them. Safety first.
Soft launch. Refine the process. Step 7. Almost there. Step 8.
Step 8. Iterate, improve, and expand. This is ongoing. Continuously evaluate your patient outcomes using those measures we discussed. Track your business metrics. Where are referrals coming from? What's your conversion rate? Use patient feedback and data to constantly refine your processes. Stay absolutely current on any changes in telehealth regulations. And then, as you gain confidence and demand grows, consider scaling up. Add more appointment slots. Maybe hire another PT or expand your licensure to serve patients in new states.
Learn, improve, grow. Step 8? Is that it?
Well, there are 2 more crucial ongoing points. First, ongoing. Stay compliant and sustainable. Make it a habit, maybe quarterly, to check for updates on telehealth laws, Medicare rules, PT compact changes. Renew your licenses on time. Be relentlessly vigilant about protecting patient privacy update software, review security protocols, and just as importantly, manage your finances wisely and protect your own work-life balance to avoid burnout. This is a marathon, not a sprint.
Maintain compliance and yourself. Crucial. And the future.
And finally, thinking about the future, scale up and innovate. Once you have a stable base, explore ways to grow your impact. Could you add specialized niche programs? Maybe incorporate emerging technologies like AI-driven motion analysis tools that can enhance remote assessments? Could you partner with the local companies or organizations to offer ergonomic assessments or wellness programs? Always be thinking about how to expand your reach and impact positively.
Okay, wow. That roadmap, it's comprehensive, definitely. But hearing it step by step like that really shows how each piece builds on the last. It breaks down what could seem like a huge, complex mountain into manageable, actionable steps. Makes it feel much less daunting, I think.
That's the goal. It's achievable piece by piece with careful planning and execution.
We have covered a ton of ground in this deep dive.
Yeah.
Seriously. From those innovative delivery models, the critical legal stuff, the essential tech, the best practices for actually connecting with and helping patients online, and those smart marketing strategies. It's really clear that being successful in online PT takes this unique mix, doesn't it? Clinical skill adapted for virtual, tech-savvy, and a solid business mindset.
Absolutely. It's a convergence of skills.
Yeah.
And if we really connect this to the bigger picture, the rise of online physical therapy, it isn't just about convenience, is it? It's fundamentally starting to reshape how we think about healthcare access, about patient empowerment, which leads to a question worth pondering. What new possibilities might this telehealth revolution open up for other health professions? And how might it continue to change all of our expectations about what truly personalized, truly accessible care looks like in the future?
That is a great thought to leave our listeners with. Really gets you thinking about the ripple effects. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. We really hope you, our listeners, feel well-informed and maybe even inspired to explore this exciting frontier in healthcare.